right, good afternoon. It is Thursday afternoon here at about 40 minutes after the hour. Hello, my cool cats and kittens. Wave meteorologist Brian Good with you guys. Storm Talk, an update not only on the storm chances in the short term, but we'll, of course, take a gander at the long term as well, getting into Derby week all the way up to Derby. Derby is now in the 10 days. So a lot to cover. So once again, on to give you guys a little bit more of a time to talk to me. I'll try to get back on mornings tomorrow as long as the data calms down a bit. But you guys know that if you don't see me in the morning, you'll see me at this time. So I appreciate you being patient with me as our schedules are kind of usually a little wacky, especially when the weather gets wacky at a busy time of year. All right. So see everyone's chimed in. A lot of you on YouTube already because you get notified first on the blog itself. Wait a minute, Carrie. What'd you say, Carrie? You're on the tractor now. Kerry was mowing yesterday. Now he's on the tractor while holding up the blog at the same time. Be careful, Kerry. We're worried about you. Worried about you there. Hi, Angela. Watching on Facebook. Hope you're doing well. Tell the family I said hi. Hello to Morgan. Sean's over into Sellersburg watching as well. Again, you can comment on the social media pages. If you're watching on streaming right now, you're like, who's he talking to? You can't see the comments fly up, or you can't even interact, but you can do both. You can keep the stream up, then go over to the social media too, if you want to chime in. Okay, so let's start with first off the quiet setup we've got now. Let's enjoy that. We'll begin with a live look at Waterfront Park Festival. Started about 2 hours ago, hour and a half ago, where they've got everything ready to go. They've got the corn dogs. I think they have elephant ears. They better have elephant ears. I'm sure they have funnel cakes, but again, everything's set up, ready to go. Now, that's where the balloons are going to be for later on tonight. So that's a very important forecast on how that is going to play out as we head into this evening. So let's start with current temperature. This is actually not changed a whole lot. We didn't drop dramatically last night. So we started off mild already, and now that we've got clouds in the area with some sunshine mixed in, don't get me wrong, we've been able to get at least to 80 so far in Louisville. We may get to about 82, but this is not one of those days where you just surge up to like 87. This is not primed for that. It's more humid today. And because of that, we have clouds and we've got the chance of these scattered showers and thunderstorms coming into play. But most of you are in the 70s at the moment. So let's get right into the satellite and radar. And you can see it's kind of a messy look. This boundary is right over us, lifting due north. There are some areas where sun's coming out, though, roughly near the parkways now. You start off cloudy. Now you got the sun. Indiana started off sunny, but you're about to cloud over. And I'm thinking you guys may be one of the spots thunderstorms do develop here very soon. And we'll watch our southern counties for development. But I want you guys just to look at this. Let me clear off my drawings. Look at this image for a moment, and you see the general trend of south to north. And that is exactly how everything will track today. Unless maybe clouds with another shower, maybe get off track a bit. But in general, south to north. And so if you look at the wave weather app, anything developing to your south will likely head your way. And in some cases, these are reacting to the heat of the day, not so much like a squall line scenario, nothing like that. So because it's the heating of the day, almost like summertime in July, they may just develop right over you. So the sky suddenly gets dark over you, you see drops or fill drops falling on you, you know that something's developing. But so far, it's just been very light, spotty, little showers. I'm watching the area right now there where that boundary is lifted north for thunderstorm development this afternoon. I think Indiana and the 71 corridor, and I think central Kentucky here should light up as well. And both of those kind of work as a group heading northbound in a very blotchy way, not very organized here today. But a very weak flow in general of the clusters of showers and storms here. They don't move very much. I mean, they are moving south to north, but they're moving slowly south to north. So you can get some decent rain totals, a good half inch may fall and a quick little downpour in your area. So some of the gardens, if you're planting grass seed, you're going to be happy about that. Meanwhile, more active there off to the west. In fact, looking at the storm fuel, we'll start with that. You see it's building in across Tennessee and Kentucky, but it's red. It's not gold. As you guys know, but watching the blog, once you get into the gold category, you get into more of the severe risk starting to go up, right? But these are just low-end fuel amounts that are showing up, just enough. That's all it takes. And as we heat up, I would say within the hour, we should start getting thunderstorms that will begin to pop on the radar. But when we look at a wider scope, you see more of the gold that is showing up into Louisiana and Texas there, and also into the plains. Well, that also happens to be where the severe risk is today and where we're getting the gold. In fact, they added an enhanced risk there on the front range of the Rockies into the panhandle there of Texas. Well, that's going to be fun for the storm chasers. But we're not in that risk because we have very weak shear in the area. The wind flow is not very strong, so they can't organize. They don't have a tailpipe, as I always like to say. When they don't have the tailpipe, they have a very short lifespan. The only issue you got to deal with them is when they're on you. At that moment, they are interrupting your plans, but they don't last very long. So that's some good news. Severe risk tomorrow, and this is a wave weather alert day, is marginal into the Red River Valley, way out west. So you're like, okay, well, why the alert day? Well, we issue alert days a lot. We have certain criteria for certain things. Obviously, the big ones are there: tornadoes, severe weather, flooding, snow, winter storms, ice, you name it, even for heavy downpours at rush hour. But we also have another category that we don't use very often, and it's only this time of the year, and that is high impact of just general heavy rain and lightning to outdoor events, something that would cause the event to either stop, get postponed, or be canceled. Not just one. If there's just one event, usually we don't have an alert day out for that. But there are multiple events going on, and we do have multiple events, not just derby ones, that are outside. That is our concern, is really just the heavy rain and lightning, just to make sure that everyone's aware of that, and that you bring your ponchos. Many places don't allow umbrellas anymore, so bring your ponchos with you. Make sure you look around, and if they say, everyone, seek shelter for a moment, know where that spot is. Try to be the first one there. If you're watching, you probably will be. And that kind of thing. So that's what it's really for. Not so much that it's dangerous weather. It's just that one of those annoying setups where you may be impacted. So we're just trying to give you a heads up and take care of you guys. That's our job, is to take care of you, right? All right. So here we go. Let's start with Futurecast, and I'll walk you into tomorrow's setup in a second. Today, though, this is just one model's idea. And these high-res models, when the atmosphere is lacking a boss, there's no boss in this game, all right? A lot of little mini games going on if you're a gamer here. So without a boss, it really is just every man for himself kind of ordeal, or woman, when it comes to these thunderstorms, and trying to personalize them here. But you can see that they do try to develop, certainly as we get into this afternoon, lifting to the north. There's that development in Indiana, some to the south. And this is a snapshot at 6 p.m. And if you look carefully, here's Louisville right here. And there is a downpour. Oh, real close to the city. The only thing with the glow, we don't want the balloons to get soaked. I mean, it's fine if the rain's out of here, but if the balloons get heavy rain on them, that's a problem, because they got to get the rain off the balloon and they got to dry it out. So it becomes a problem. I mean, they're prepared for something like that, but it could cause a delay. Let's just hope they avoid festival altogether. And it's possible, because they are so scattered. Hey, you may get lucky. Hey, we've seen it before where like Lynn Family Stadium could get a heavy downpour, but Festiville will be okay. So we'll see. We're going to take it hour by hour today, guys. We'll be with you here doing it. This will continue until they lose their fuel, which is the heating. So they eat up all the Cape. You see the reds going away. They just, like Pac-Man, just eat away. And once they eat that away, then they begin to fall apart. And that gives us a quiet night tonight. That's good. Now we get into tomorrow. This is where we have really two little spins in the atmosphere that are bosses that will be at play. One will be in the morning, racing across Kentucky. Boss number 2 rolls in as we head into the evening hours. They're very close together in moving through wave country, and that's the reason why they're working as a team to increase the showers and the thunderstorm potential in a big way. There's our spam. Hold on. Spam alert. Where's the spammer at? I don't see them. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't catch them in time. Any spammer, although we're getting more spammers on oh, I see him. Thank you. I found it. It was an unusual talk there on the spammer. I think I got him. Let me know. Real quick, I'll ask Crispy's question. Do you control the hourly forecast in the wave app? I noticed it said heavy thunderstorm from 2 to 7. That's not, I don't think that's the weather app. You're looking at the weather app from iPhone, it sounds like, not the Wave weather app. Wave weather app, we just have thunderstorms. on an hour-by-hour basis. Now, if it said that line, a sentence, that's not necessarily what we would type. So let me know if you're looking at the wave one or you're just referring to each hour. And then if you're looking at each hour, yeah, we do have thunderstorms, but I don't think we have heavy listed there. But anyway, let me know, Crispy, when you take a look at that. Because if there is an error, I will make sure to look at that. Because we do hand type everything in the app. And I can assure you now if there's a typo, it's usually me. Sorry. I'll try not to, I promise. Okay, here we go with Friday. Here's the good news. Because it's so active today, showers and storms that eat up all that cape, there's not much in the morning for anything to work with. So the idea of getting the rush hour race for the balloons is actually pretty good. The only issue will be the cloud deck. It has to be above that 1,500, 2,000 feet. So we don't want low-hanging clouds. We need it to be high up so they can launch and do the race. If the clouds are too low, then they may have trouble. I think the wind will be fine, and I don't see much action on the radar for the race. It's just the cloud deck. So we're working with that. We're working with them too on how to arrange that. We'll get more data this afternoon, but I think it has a good chance for tomorrow morning. But here's the thing. You don't have long to dilly-dally, okay? Because that boss, number one, rolls in, and boy, it kicks up showers and thunderstorms quickly into the area. And these are the ones that are going to have the heavy rain, the lightning throughout much of the daytime period tomorrow. That risk will be there. I'm not saying it's going to rain everywhere every hour, but a good chunk of you will be dealing with thunderstorms during the day tomorrow about this time. And there is a very low and severe risk. We're not outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, but I've been looking at some of the soundings, and I could see where there could be a gusty wind, maybe pea-sized hail, but most of the thresholds are under the limit of severe. Most of them are just under it, but they're close. So models are not always right. So don't be surprised if there is like a rogue severe thunderstorm warning. But this, again, is not a tornado setup here. Once again, even though we got a boss on the map, it's not an impressive one. Doesn't have much of a tailpipe to the system. So it's got its limits, but it does have more of a kick than what we got today. So heavy rain, lightning, thunderstorms. You see how the fuel that is at play for number one there that drives in. But then number one keeps going east. And now here we are at 7 o'clock, getting close to the Great Balloon Glow. We also have the concert, I think, was it Dwight Yoakam at Iroquois Amphitheater? Well, if this can eat up all the Cape, good. We'll calm things down just in time for the evening. But look at Indiana. Indiana, unfortunately, regains the Cape again. So, and that's where boss number two is. So will it fire or not? If it doesn't, then we're good. No problems. I mean, advance this. You could see as we into 9:30, it tries, it's wanting to develop, and some models do indeed develop boss number two because of that redevelopment Cape in Indiana. But there is a chance if we can, I mean, I know we don't want it to rain all day tomorrow, but if it storms a good chunk of the day, it actually does help us in the evening quite a bit because it takes away all the Cape and the fuel, and then we're done. So the balloon glow is, boy, it's iffy. It is iffy. We're going to keep it in the red for now, just because there will maybe still be some impacts, some heavy rain that could impact the balloons just from being on the ground there for a while. But I'm hoping, optimistic that this will move fast enough to where, and number two doesn't form, and you guys are able to enjoy your evening. Type 1, if that makes sense. Type 1 if you're good on why the alert day's out, and boss number one and boss number two, and the issues there. All right. This is your only chance to say you're clear, type 1. If you're not, let me know. And if not, then, got some problems. Hey, we got someone on Twitch. Hey, how are you doing? You're an awesome meteorologist. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for watching on Twitch. I watch Twitch all the time. And you're going to ask, who do you watch? Well, sometimes Shroud, Kai Cenat. I watch Kai Cenat. Anyway, you guys are not. I'm not watching Twitch. I love watching Twitch. But anyway, they're some of my favorites. All right, a lot of ones there. Good. Okay. Good. Ashley, you're behind. That's all right, Ashley. Hang in there. You'll catch up. All right. Our gamer's got one. Hang down tight, Ashley. I'll come back around. Do you watch Queso? Yes, I watch Queso, especially when he plays scary games. I watch Queso a lot. So Queso's funny. Okay, okay, here's a question. Let me get that real quick. So I want to make sure everyone's clear before I move on here. This is Tommy? I'm sorry. I always do this to you, Tammy. I think I always do this to you. I'm so sorry. Tammy Barnes, is Carson going to get some really bad storms tonight? No, not really bad. You may get some of the first round, maybe noisy with some of the lightning and thunder, but as far as anything severe, no. Just a round of heavy rain for you. And if you need it for the gardens, then you're in good shape. All right. Good. Here we go. Let's move on. We've got the, again, that's all the way through Friday night. And then the good news is we cleared this out so fast. Boy, this is looking good for the runners. Now, there could be some drizzle that lingers a bit early in the morning, but otherwise, by Saturday afternoon, get minimum markings, it looks good. Cool. I mean, it's going to be a cool day, only upper 50s to mid 60s. So a little chilly, actually, on Saturday, but pretty. Good for opening night. And then as we get into Sunday parade day, some high clouds, but parade day will be a bit warmer. So let's review all the events here before we get into Derby week. On the balloons, again, we've got that 30% tonight. We'll watch and see how that plays out. We'll let you know if we take that down to a green, hopefully not a red. Rush hour race may go to green, It's possible. We'll look at the ceiling on the clouds, but right now I'm thinking that's going to be the only issue for them. So that's a good setup. The Great Balloon Glow, follow back boss number 1. See what happens. If it moves out of the way and we don't get number 2, then the glow may happen. And the Great Balloon Race, the only issue there is the wind. It's going to be a little strong out of the north, 15 to 20. It's going to be right at the threshold, and there may be some drizzle. If there's drizzle around, then the ceiling, the clouds may be low too. So let's hope that, but the clouds will be breaking up, so there may be some gaps there. So we'll watch it, but we'll update this list and levels coming up today at 3 o'clock. Overall, the weekend, though, again, 66 will go for Louisville, 72 for parade day. All right, going to take a quick break. And then coming up after the break is going to be the drawing segment where I'm going to draw out. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Wait a minute. Here's the runners. I want to cover that. Your runners out there, cool. 59 to 60 for running. Josh Nicky was like dancing because he was so excited because he loves that. It will be a wet ground, but nice and cool outside. Perfect weather for that. All right, the parade. I'm forgetting everything today. Here's the parade. Looking good. 70 degrees, a decent amount of sun, a cool east wind. So dress for lower 60s and you will be comfortable for the parade. All right, now let me get a break. I'll do some drawing to explain Derby week because there is a growing severe potential there. We need to talk about that. And we'll do that coming up in 30 seconds. Hang tight, guys. You may see a slate. Some of you will see an ad. I'll be back in about 30 here. Okie dokie. All right. Let's get rid of that loud music. Okay, you ready? All right, art class time. Time to explain how this is going to play out as we head into next week. All right. I'm going to show you a Futurecast too that will help as well in explaining visually what I'm doing, but I always like to at least explain why the map is doing what it's doing and why the map may change. As we get into early week, still looking at the same setup where we've got the high pressure to our east. We're going to get a nice warm flow in the Ohio Valley. That will actually start on Monday. Still looking at 80s for the bed races. A few storms possible. Wouldn't worry about that. There's not a lot of agreement on them being here. It may be West Kentucky and sliding into Nashville kind of a setup with a warm front. But with a warm front, you got to watch for anything that could develop. But it will bring in more warmth and humidity. It's going to get humid. May not get below 70 at night once this moves in. At the same time, a strong cold front is coming in across the Midwest and the plains, and that is going to kick up severe weather and head in our direction as the high decides to leave us alone and head east. I wish it would stay. If it got stuck, wouldn't that be nice? We'll be stuck in the 80s all week long through Derby, but it's moving. The front is stronger than it is, so things will be evolving. So as we head into Tuesday, the front will be roughly in this shape here. and it will have a band of severe weather right along it during the day, especially for Tuesday into Tuesday night. Same issue, though, that we run into where most of this looks like it's going to be Tuesday night, that we would have to worry about anything moving in. I will say Tuesday morning, with the front nearby, there is a little ripple right here in Arkansas that wants to ride just ahead of the front along the river. It's just kind of, I don't know what it's doing. It's sightseeing, goes ahead of the front. That may kick off a morning round of storms for southern Indiana. It's possible. So you may have some wind from the line from the northwest, and then something about 3 hours later that could sneak in from Arkansas. But at this point, the high is still the boss in charge here. So the front slows down. And we, at the moment, see more of the severe risk holding across Indiana, just outside of our counties into St. Louis. But the models vary a bit here, because if the high does decide to leave a little earlier, the front then might have a chance to push right into Kentucky, and we could end up with a severe event for part of the daytime area on Tuesday and into early Wednesday. That's possible. Right now, it's literally the difference is about, I would say, 80 to 150 miles on the front placement of where this could be on Tuesday. And that's important. We've got to get that figured out. And it's all when the high wants to leave. And we're leaning kind of splitting the difference. I think much of the day is going to be warm, summer-like, but we need to be aware for Tuesday night. Not to the point of an alert day set up yet because of timing issues. But this does have a kick to it. This has much more of a tailpipe and can kick up some thunderstorms rolling our way. Once the front moves in, yep, you guessed it, it's going to stall out, as we've been talking about, somewhere around Lexington, Bowling Green area looks to be the stalling point. That would kick up severe weather or gusty thunderstorms ahead of it more south of us on Wednesday. So I don't see much happening Wednesday, but it could be a showery day, especially for Kentucky. Indiana, if the front clears your area to the south, you'll be fine. However, here's where things get a little wonky. We've got our fronts draped in the area, but a low pressure is going to form along it. And depending on where the train tracks are, this locomotive is going to move right along it. And if we can keep it south, it would bring in, yes, rain for Oaks Day, scattered showers, and then leave us alone as we head into Derby Day. If it cuts more to the north, it would then allow for Thurby to feature a severe risk that could develop in the Ohio Valley before finally pushing in some cooler air and dry air for Oaks and Derby. So we know that we've got the main feature here, the front draped, low pressure. Now, I mentioned yesterday there's a second front that gets involved, right? The colder front. That looks like now it's going to get absorbed right into this one. It's going to move fast while this one's stalling out. This one's going to say, hey, I'm going to come join you for the party. So it comes over and basically joins in with the entire boundary right in the Ohio Valley. But this low is crucial. We want the low to grab the front as quickly as it can. Get through here. If you're going to come through here, fine. That's fine. All right. You got to do what you got to do. You got to get to Canada. Everyone wants to go to Canada. I know. So you got to get through here, grab at least showers in, maybe a little bit of thunderstorms with it. But as soon as it passes, because of that flow on the backside of the low, it will then push the front way down to here. And then we're good. Perhaps for Oaks and certainly for Derby. And that's kind of the way we're trending right now on this, is I think it's leaning that way. But unfortunately, that low is going to be in charge here. And if that low, again, tracks too far north, we may have more active weather on Derby as well before we get to Oaks and Derby. Right now, I don't see anything threatening for Oaks and Derby. I think the 2 days to watch would be Tuesday and Thursday next week. Wednesday may be the quiet one just because that's where the front's taking a nap. So we may not have as much action on Wednesday. Does that make sense? Type 1 if you're good on that. Now I'm going to show you the Futurecast. Actually, don't type 1. Type 1+1. So I know you're really paying attention. Here is Futurecast. We'll start this for Monday. Here's the warm front. This is the Euro. It tries to start spotty showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but I don't see anything major there. It passes on by. We get into the warm weather. Now here's the front starting to settle in. Here's your severe risk. Late Tuesday into Wednesday. It just depends on how close it gets. Now this model is updating in about 10 minutes. It'll start updating. So I'll have the new look. I don't know if we'll have it at 3. Kevin should have it probably at 5 today. He'll have the new look at 5, but we'll let you know if there's anything more dramatic with it. but it should look fairly similar actually. But the severe risk zone is going to be so close to us here. And there is an outlook of severe weather already, as you'll see in a second, for that front. Here's where it takes a nap. This is Wednesday's nap. Every front needs to take a nap. I think it's fair. But then here comes the low. You see the low pressure back here to the west. Low grabs the front and heads in our area. Now we're getting to Thurby. And here's the low center here to Missouri. We'll advance this more and takes it right across, really, southern Indiana into Pennsylvania. That could just bring in a rain of heavier rain and maybe some thunderstorms for Thurby. But here's Oaks afternoon. And the Euro has about a 6-hour delay on it. So this could actually already be east of us at 3 o'clock. But the front should be moving in. Oaks may be just a changeable day where we start off with rain and then drying out. That's the way it's probably going to trend. But a cool day. And then again, since it grabs the front, it pulls it away. And then by Derby Day, we don't have to worry about it. Could be a beautiful day, a little breezy, and very much on the comfortable side. So let's get into the severe risk side of this mess, the danger part of it all. Now, these are the different models. I know it gets overwhelming on the severe potential. Here are the analogs on the far left. Sorry, my pen is not, it's white, so you can't see it. And CSU is in the middle row. And then the Storm Prediction Center is the last column. Okay. So in the first row, or the first column, excuse me, you see that there is a severe risk. This is going to be for Tuesday. Second box is Wednesday. Third box is Thurby. And you can see that the severe risk on the analogs is there for Tuesday. Not so much for Wednesday. That's the nap day. And then it's back again Thursday with the low moving in. What about CSU, our AI model? Well, it's got the severe risk right across us for Tuesday. It brings the front right along our area for a visit. We get into Wednesday. It's roughly 64 south and very low end. And on Thurby, very low end, but it does build back north because the low pressure now, you can see it's already starting to form a little dot there where there's the severe risk begins to form. The Storm Prediction Center only has the slight risk out for now. That does include all the way up to Clark County, Indiana. That's the slant of it. It's far out for a severe weather outlook. It's day 6, so we'll see. Plenty of time for that to change. And they didn't touch any other days yet. So at least we're getting signals that it could be active for Tuesday and Thursday. We just need more specifics. We need more time. We need high res data to really look at this. So no alert day yet, flag for those, but it's trending that way, of course. For Oaks, this rain chance, I'm hoping that it's going to be out of here early enough to where we can reduce that for the afternoon. We'll go with about 72. And for Kentucky Derby, 151. Got the rain chance at 20% because I think you always have rain chance for Derby, just in case. But there is a possibility we can remove it. Then 72 may drop. It may be more in the 60s, but we'll see. But overall, pleasant. Here's the entire 10-day, and I got to get out of here because I've rambled long today. And you can see we got those 80s at play. The weekend, I can't stress enough, the weekend looks good. It is going to be just cool and chilly outside, but a bit on the cool side. Hey, is it Jennifer J-Wash? I know I've seen you on other social media, but you're on Twitch right now. Angela, the question, group that monitors the soil for drought conditions, do they report the soil temperatures as well? Cicadas are expected in our area this year, and I was wondering how close for them for emerging. Angela, if you want to send me an email at work, brian.good@wave3.com, I can send you the link to the Kentucky Mesonet where they do monitor soil temperatures. I don't think they have one in Spencer County, but it is close to you. And you can monitor the soil temperature so you have an idea of where things are going. So I can send you that link, okay? Cicada time. Are you ready? Brett, better chance for storms early or late on Thursday on Thurby? Right now, it would be all day until we get a better handle on the track of the low. But right now, the chance is all day. I'm not saying it's going to rain all day. It's just the chance is going to be all day for now. Jackie, or is it Jock or Jackie? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad with names. I think it's Jackie. This is why they named me Brian. They try to keep it simple. Can you call off the rain? No, I can't. I tried, I promise. Okay, any risk for tornadoes? No, next week, I don't know yet on the severe side on that. You know, that it's too early to know on the boundaries and how much shear we'll have. But for the next couple of days, we're not worried about that. It's really just heavy rain and lightning that we'll have to worry about. But next week, next week just has that look to it, All right, guys, I got to run. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your time as always. Thanks for watching. I'll try to be on in the morning. If not, I'll be on at midday again, and we'll go through all this and see where we stand, and we'll have more art class as well. Take care, and be careful dodging those downpours this afternoon. I'll see you at 3 o'clock.